what I've got over here. Welcome everybody. I know it's been a little bit since I made a video. I do apologize about that. Been a lot going on in my life, so yeah, we're going to get back to it. I'm actually going to start doing a series. This will be the first of the series of different types of clear coats and how I apply them and how I use them and the things that I know about them. So if you're interested in learning about some clear coats, please follow along and enjoy the video. Tonight we're going to do, I'm going to show you how I spray Tamco 9500. It's an automotive clear coat, so let's get to it. Alright, first things first, this is the Tamco 9500. I buy it by the quart. It is the HC 9500, the 30-minute high-speed impact clear. Or, yeah, high-speed impact clear. They have one that is not the 30-minute cure time. This one is a 30-minute curing time. So after you spray it in roughly 30 minutes, you'll be able to handle the lure or the product you're spraying. It is a 4-to-1 ratio. So you have 4 parts of the actual clear coat to 1 part of their hardener. Now, where I live, their medium hardener works for me, and what that is, the medium is the temperature range. So, my paint room, I'd keep, I can't remember exactly what their temperature range is. You can get on their website and it'll tell you there. But my paint room year-round stays within their range of their medium. But obviously, if it's extremely warm where you live, you'll want a slow medium. If you're kind of average temperature in your painting area, then you can get by with a medium. If it's really, really cold in your area or where you're spraying, they usually recommend a fast, because that's kind of how all that works is the fast medium. It helps us break down, and in the viscosity, it helps it to cure and set up. Without the hardener, this will not set up, but the hardener has to be set to the range because it dries and flashes off. So like I said, the way we mix this is a 4-to-1. Most of your average lures, like your 110 length jerk baits and your 1.5 square bills and stuff like that, I measure these with out with little pipettes. I get glass ones, that way I can clean them and reuse them. They have milliliter increments, so one jerk bait takes about 1 to 1.5 milliliters to finish out. So that way you can kind of judge, if you're using something of this scale, kind of how much you need to mix. Because you don't want to mix a whole, more than what you need. You always want a little bit extra, but you don't want to mix a whole bunch and be throwing it away, because this stuff is right about $100 a quart. You can get it on their website for, I think it's $90 and some change, but by the time you figure shipping and everything, you're looking at $100 or maybe just a little over. You get a quart, and now a quart does go a long way. I want to say probably about 900 to 1,000 lures at least out of a quart. So now if you're doing bigger stuff, of course you're going to use up more of it. So we'll be right back when we get set up and we're going to start mixing this up. Okay, we got everything here. So I use a siphon feed airbrush. So I have their 1 ounce jar for what I'm getting ready to do. That's going to be a big enough jar, because what I'm needing for what I'm getting ready to do today is 20 parts clear coat to 5 parts hardener. Like I said, it's a 4-to-1. I do get a little jar of acetone. That's what they recommend for cleanup. I got a pipette for each component. Do not intermix them, because then you'll get clear coat set up in here. I do shake up each canister to make sure if there's anything in there that does settle, that's all shook up. And you don't have to start with one or the other. I just always start with the clear coat, because it's the bigger volume that I'm going to need. So, and you can mix this in a separate mixing jar and strain it if you want to. There's nothing wrong with that. I normally don't strain it. That bubble popped. I just put it straight into my jar and I mix it in there. Haven't had any issues yet, so that's what I'm still going to stick with. That says 21, so I'm going to try and get all the way up to the 10 milliliter mark. Now this jar will be full when I get done. Alright, so there's my 20. And if I do overfill it, it's not a big deal. I got other jars over here. Now the acetone, what I'm doing here, I'm just drawing it up inside the pipette, letting it kind of rinse the inside. I will clean it out after I'm done spraying. And put the lid back on this so we don't spill it and make a mess by accident and waste product. You never want to waste no more than what you have to. Okay. Alright, this one's being a little bit of a bear. I need to get my pliers to hold that lower ring. Sometimes that little ring that actually makes the threads, it can get a little bit slippery, and it don't want to cooperate. So we got 20. Now I said I need 5, so we'll pull up to the 5 millimeter mark, or milliliter. There we go. Like I said, that jar is going to be full. But this stuff does not require reducing in order to spray from an airbrush. I do recommend a 0.5 needle and nozzle set on your airbrush or bigger. I'm using, well, I'll show you what I'm using here in just a second. Let me get this rinsed out a little bit. And then I'll set these over here to the side so they're out of my way. Okay, let me get this where it's going to stay up and not tip over. It's wanting to tip over on me. So we'll set it way over here out of the way. Move some stuff around. Normally I'm not recording when I do this, so there we go. Now close this and put it up. And you just give it a good stir. I said this stuff's real thin, so it's real easy to do. So I want to get it stirred up real good, and it mixes together very well. It's not thick at all. So remember, if you got a 1 ounce jar, 25 milliliters in total will almost fill it. It will still be usable, but it'll be right at the brink. All right. We'll just take an old rag. We'll wipe that off, and we'll stick it in the thinner as well. You want to clean as you go. Hold on just a second. Let me get that set up here. Put the lid on. Now, like I said, I use a Posh. This is a VL. And it has I believe it's their 0.75 needle or 0.7 needle. It's their number 3. Because Posh has numbers for their needle sizes. You gotta kind of look into their specs and everything to see what size the actual tip is. But this one's a 0.7 or 0.75. It works really good. We'll hang that over here. And if you're going to use an automotive or any kind of spray-on clear coat, especially if it's got solvents and stuff in it, make sure you got a ventilation booth that filters to the outside. Do not recirculate it back in unless you got one heck of a filtering system. And also, even though you got that, I don't care if you got one that it just sucks it straight across the room. You want to have a proper respirator. This one here is the 3M edition, 6001 NIOSH rated. It does have the replaceable filters and everything in it. And if y'all do not use proper PPE or personal protective equipment, I am not responsible for what happens to you. I just want to put that out there. I'm doing my best to give you information that will help you, but I'm also not going to be responsible if you misuse the product. Now, I will say, if you wear glasses like I do, you want to have a cheap pair or an old pair of glasses sitting to the side to do this in. That way you don't get any kind of overspray or anything on your good glasses. That would be a bad thing, because you're not going to clean it off. Alright, give me a second, get everything set up, and we'll be right back. Alright, so first thing I'm going to spray is going to be these spoons I have done up. I do have them turned shiny side out because I'd rather do the cup side first. Once that's done and I'm able to, then I take and flip them and do the painted side. Most of this video I'll probably speed up or doing a time lapse, and that way y'all can still watch. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come across, I'm going to put a really light coat on here. Now, once that light coat, once I get it put on, I get through all these here, I'll come back and I'll do a little bit heavier coat on top of that light coat. What that light coat does, and I mean it's a really light coat, is it just gets the clear coat, the like little water droplets of the clear coat on there, and it creates a tacky layer. And so what it does, it allows that next coat to go on and go on just a little bit, go on normal or heavier, however you want to say it. And it allows it to grab and hold it on there and helps minimize any kind of running issues and stuff like that you might run into. Now I do 2 coats on all my lures. So you'll see me dust it. I don't consider that a coat. And then I'll come in with my first initial coat, and then after about 5 to 10 minutes, actually probably a little sooner than that, if I can touch a spot, I'll spray like a bar or something over here. If I can touch it and it's either just tacky to my finger, or if it's just tacky but it's not like super stringy, then I'll come in with my second coat. So let's see what that looks like. Alright, that was 2 coats as you saw. I come across here and I sprayed just a quick little spray. And then my first initial heavy coat, I come across here and make sure I got it full coverage. And then you saw me spray a bar. Once that bar was able to be touched and it wasn't sticky, and, I wasn't pulling strings off. It was, it was just slightly tacky. It was just grabbing the glove. Some people will do it if it's stringy. Some people, as long as it's tacky, it just still needs to have a little bit of tack to it. And so I come back in and put my second coat on. Now I know these are spoons. I did not have to clear coat the shiny side. I just like to, because it does help bring the shine up more than just the raw metal. So let me hang this over here, let it dry a little bit, and I'll show y'all how I do a lure. Alright, on a lure, I get a pair of forceps, and I never clamp on where the line is going to tie to. Because some people tie to the line tie, some people put a split ring, you never know. You don't want to create a burr with the forceps, or whatever you're holding it with, that could potentially cut the line. So always try and hook to where the hooks are going to go. Alright, let me get my mask on, and I'll show you how I do this. Hole number 1. We'll hang that up and let that first coat dry.
If you think that I'ma slow down, but wanna hear it talking shit from the drama. Keep it coming, I'ma send you to your mama. Mr. Whip, 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 get the gun down. Dropping bodies in the place till the sun's out. Can't fuck with this, I'm going to try. Cause when the bullets fly, I'm the last one to die. That send you to your mama. Pistol whip, quick clip, get the guns out. Dropping bodies into place till the sun's out. Can't fuck with me, so don't even try. Cause when the bullets fly, I'm the last one to die. Pulling up black windows once you go down. You must be crazy if you think that I'ma slow down. Don't wanna hear it talking shit, fuck the drama. You keep it coming, I'ma send you to your mama. Pistol whip, quick clip, get the guns out. Dropping bodies into place till the sun's out. Can't fuck with me, so don't even try. Cause when the bullets fly, I'm the last one to die.
Alright, now y'all see me do a couple lures there, and like I said, I got some sped up videos, so hopefully y'all saw it fairly good. That's why I did that last video in real time, that way you could kind of see how I do it. Now like I said, these, yep, see they're good to touch. So I'll get these all flipped over, and we got them all flipped over. So now you're going to get to see these guys get sprayed. With their final coats on, or their coats and their final coats on the other side. Again, let me get my mask on. Now we will wait just a second. You gotta remember, I know Tamco and everything, they recommend 5 to 10 minutes on, in between every coat, but with the airbrush you're spraying a lot thinner than with a regular spray gun. So things will dry a lot faster, so it will be up to you in learning how you spray, how heavy you spray as far as your dry time. I wouldn't go over 5 to 10 minutes, but always remember, when using solvent-based paints, you can use their guidelines, but your stuff will dry a lot faster because you're using a lot thinner coat. Now we'll wait just a little bit. Once that second coat's ready to come on, alright, second coat's ready to go on. To the side. Put our second coat on the lures. Alright, now that you're done spraying, you got 2 coats and everything, and I recommend 2 coats at least. You can get by with 1 coat and it still look good, but from my experience, 2 coats is where your durability is at. It'll still look good, but that second coat really adds just a little bit more durability to the whole finish of the lure. And that's feedback from other people, from people fishing in tournaments, to individuals that are bank fishermen, and even my own experience. 2 coats at least is definitely where the durability is. Now, you see, we're down to a little of nothing. So, what we do now, we get us some acetone, because this is what they recommend for cleanup. And yeah, I buy about a gallon. I go through quite a bit of it, believe it or not. I can't get a good grip on that jar. Come on, baby. There we go. Sometimes I have a hard time getting a grip. I'll just fill that jar about half full, because you need to clean everything right as soon as you're done. Now, on these siphon ones, there'll be a little hole up here. Cover it up, just shake it around a little bit. That way it cleans that whole jar. Alright, now you'll need a spray out pot or something to spray this off into, and run your exhaust while you're doing this. And what that does is, just like spraying water through your airbrush to clean the paint out, you're spraying that acetone through here to help clean all that out. Now, we still will have a cleaning process, back flush, to get anything out of the airbrush back into the jar. Just take the jar off. Now, I don't tighten this up none by hand. It does really good not. You'll take the tip off. Take your airbrush out, or your needle out. Now, always take it out the front. Now, clean the needle first. I'm going to take a little bit of that acetone and put in our cleaning dish. We're going to rub that needle down. This stuff's real easy to clean, believe it or not, but you gotta do this right after. Don't let this set. Don't walk away from it until you know your stuff is clean. Now, with all our airbrushes, normally comes a little brush kit. I will dip that into the acetone. Now I'll scrub the inside of my airbrush. And that helps clean out anything that the spray out didn't get. Alright, now for our tip, what I use is these little gum toothpick things. I get the smallest one I can. And I clean the inside of that tip really good. I said this is a very important part. You have to clean all this right after. And just dry it off with some air. And we'll set it over here on the rag so it don't go nowhere. And then for the bottle, I use these little pipe cleaners. I know we've already sprayed through the bottle, but I like to run down through the orifice area, come through the top, and gets all the way through that straw. We scrub it real good. Take our tip set over here, dab our rag in there, and wipe that off. A little spout right there. Alright, now we'll open this up. We can wipe everything down. Alright, so there's the top. Make sure to wipe your threads, just in case any got on there. You run that rag down inside, help dry it out. And then I always turn it upside down with a little bit of a tilt to let it air dry. And then everything else up here is going to now air dry. Once it's all done, I'll lube it all back up, put it all back together, and have it ready for the next time. But if you don't do this, you will destroy your airbrush eventually, because you'll slowly get a buildup, and that will cause major issues. And trust me, you don't want to lose your airbrush because you failed to clean the clear coat out of it, because that's what will happen. Sorry, y'all know I'm in the camera here. So that's how we use Tamco. There will be future videos. I plan on doing a video on how I use the BSI 30-minute slow cure to do an epoxy clear coat on the lures. I plan on using a 2-part pouring epoxy, showing how I apply that, how you put it on a turner, and let everything do what it needs to do. I'm going to give you all the benefits of and the pros and cons as best as I can. Now, obviously, the con with Tamco, any kind of automotive type clear coat, is you got to be set up for it. That's your major con. You have to have a ventilation. You have to have a respirator. Gloves are very important. Acetone. That's the major con for most people, because it does cost a little bit to get started, with getting proper ventilation. You don't want to get the little hobby vent hood. This one has 146 CFM. That's what I would consider your bare minimum. That and better. These little hobby ones that have these little blue filters back here, and if you actually look at the fans, they're like little computer cooling fans. I do not recommend them for Tamco. For one, they don't have a CFM rating. And for two, most of them cooling fans only do like 90 CFM. That's not enough. This stuff has high solids, it's very toxic. So you want to make sure it's being exhausted out and filtered and done away with. You don't want that in your house, garage, or wherever you're doing it. Now, I would say probably around the 140 to 200 CFM, doing it the way I do it would be plenty. Now, if you got a whole bunch hung up and you're spraying a whole lot, then you're going to need more to help exhaust. But definitely wear that respirator. But like I said, this is just part one of the series. I do not have any UV epoxy to be able to test and show you how to use that, and I'll be honest, I've still yet to perfect that. UV epoxy is very tricky, and it's just very tricky in everything to do with it. And we'll cover that in a later video. And I might just have a discussion video over that one. But there will be videos, like I said, with other clear coats. If y'all have any input, advice, questions, or you want to see a certain thing, please put that in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know if you're liking these videos, if they're helping you. And if you do like them, please subscribe, please like them, and please leave a comment. And show it to your friends and tell people about what I'm doing here. I'm trying my best to just give you information. I'm not going to try and sway you to one thing or the other. That's up to you to decide. I just want to give you information to help you decide. So I love y'all. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. This is Labor Day weekend, and so I hope everyone has a wonderful and safe Labor Day. And stay tuned for the next videos, y'all.